Hi, everyone there in the world. This is the Weird World podcast. I'm Dean.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Carrie.
Carrie's going to tell us a story today. And as we know from her recent practice, it probably won't be anything bloody or horrible.
That's true.
Okay. That's been her thing lately. She slips once in a while, but mostly she's stuck to it.
I slip when I'm ordered to.
No, you're not. You're not ordered. Today, Carrie's going to, I think, is something that we know a little bit about it, but not that much. Hopefully the same for you, and you learn with us.
It was same for me. I mean, I had heard of it and kind of knew a little bit about it, but certainly no details like this. So, ready?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story that at the time in 2001 should have been one of the biggest stories in the United States and probably would have also made the international news at the time. On August 21st of 2001, Attorney General John Ashcroft held a press conference to announce several indictments and I think 8 arrests that had been made that day. His announcement became a huge nationwide story, like I said, and then I'm sure there were developments as it progressed. And then the trial, which was to be held in Jacksonville, Florida, actually started on September 10th, 2001.
Oh, that's inconvenient.
Then we know what happened.
The actual trial started on
Yes.
the day before 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
So did they postpone it? Did they?
No, the trial continued.
Okay. It just got buried.
Correctly.
In the media. In the
Yep.
news. Okay.
No longer appeared in the front pages of newspapers or on the nightly news. So I'm going to tell you the story of what this huge news story that got eclipsed by 9/11 was. Have either of you ever won anything?
Excuse the fuck
Have you ever
out of
won
me.
anything? Like little sweepstakes or
Oh.
giveaways?
You two look like failures. Have you ever won anything? Jeez.
Jack.
Like prizes.
Yeah, like a raffle
Like-
or a
yes.
lottery or something like that.
Well, do you remember the McDonald's Monopoly game? Do you?
Yes, you do.
Oh my God.
We used to. We haven't got them. Well, these guys go to McDonald's, but back when these kids were young, we would sometimes go to McDonald's for breakfast.
Oh, that's
Because
right.
the McGriddle was delicious, and we would, of course, during when did they have? Was it fall? There was a time of the year.
October. It started in October.
Oh, Lord.
Like I'm a dumb bitch. What the hell?
Jack is super
really
insulted right
confused.
now.
I don't remember that detail.
I don't remember that either, but I do remember winning. Yeah, a small fry,
Yeah.
a small Coke,
Yeah.
things like that. No, never, and they'd always keep was it states? Did you have to get states? Wait,
No, Monopoly.
I'm
Monopoly.
sorry. I'm sorry, but they'd always have Illinois Avenue. They'd have one in New York and
Hey,
one in
She's probably
California.
going to talk about that.
Oh, my
Well, it was
bad.
probably even worse than that. But of course,
Yeah.
you wanted
Yeah.
It was basically just like the Monopoly game. The ones you want the most are Park Place and
Oh, is that what it was?
what was the other one?
Broadway.
Broadway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those were, you'd get your little game board and
Yep.
keep all your pieces, and nobody ever found Park Place or Broadway.
Yeah, those bastards.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about.
Just the game.
Fun
Okay, cool.
of
Oh.
McDonald's Monopoly game.
Listeners, tell us if you've ever won anything, and I think that.
It actually started, well, and of course we won fries and Cokes and stuff like that, but there were also big money prizes.
Yes, that was the whole deal.
And those were the ones that were attached to those really hard to get
Yep.
Park Place pieces.
I've got 17 Indiana Avenues. I'm done with this game.
Well, it started in the United States in 1987, which I do remember it back in those days. I would have thought it started earlier than that, but
I don't
I
know.
would have thought it started later.
Me too,
yeah,
actually.
no, it was 87. Well, because I feel like I remember it like in high school and stuff, but apparently not. And there were other variations around the world in other countries and everything, but basically, you had to collect the pieces, exchange them for prizes, and it went on for years and years, and it pretty much worked pretty well. Customers won prizes. It was huge marketing for McDonald's. When they were running one of their Monopoly games, it increased their sales like 40%. It,
That's ridiculous.
McDonald's made millions by supposedly giving out millions of dollars.
You all giving away a few small fries and Cokes that you had to go buy other stuff there to even redeem, typically. Or, you were
No, you
going to
didn't.
99 times out of 100, though, you were.
You could,
Here's
and
my free small fry, that's all I want now, usually.
yes, but in order to make it not gambling in the United States, where you have to pay money to
Yes.
get,
Yeah.
win a prize or whatever, you have to be able to get a little thing for free, a little game
Yeah.
piece for free. So you technically could walk into any
that's
McDonald's and say,
Give me a game piece.
"Can I have a game piece?"
Really?
And they would have to give you one.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't charge
No, I guess not.
for like entries into a.
Loophole.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, they relied on no one doing that, or,
I'm sure some people did that, probably kids too, mostly, and
And probably adults
Yeah.
who took it way too seriously.
and some really did. They also would put game pieces in like inserts in magazines and stuff,
Really?
which I don't remember that at the time.
Nope.
But apparently they did.
I don't remember that in my Omni magazine.
Well, I know one of them
Mad
was
magazine.
supposedly People magazine.
Well,
That sounds
then
about
I
right.
wouldn't know that.
Apple.
I
Well-
mean, I only bought the Sexiest Man Alive issue once a year. That's
Did you?
And when it's Blake Shelton. What the fuck?
Well, they had $25,000 prizes, $100,000 prizes. There was a $500,000 prize up to $1 million.
$1
There were
million
$1 million
Yeah, I remember
prizes.
that. You could win $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. The actual idea for the Monopoly game wasn't thought of by somebody at McDonald's. It was actually the idea of Simon Marketing Company, which is the company that obviously did marketing for McDonald's. They were actually also the inventor of the Happy Meal. They came up with that
That
brilliant
was their
idea.
idea, huh? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And like I said, it was a massive success. And they used a very secure printing firm by the name of Dittler Brothers.
Sure.
Because, if you're printing these $1 million tickets, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
And security was a big deal. And so the reason why Simon Marketing and McDonald's chose this Dittler Brothers company is because they had already gotten a reputation for being a very secure printing company. They printed a lot of lottery tickets and stuff for states. And they also were printing U.S. postage stamps.
Yeah, because I guess you could if you ran off an extra boardwalk and muled it out of the factory.
Yeah.
You could win a lot of money.
Yeah. They had huge security. They had like a vault where the high value, the $1 million and $100,000 tickets were kept in this vault. And there were two separate little, key code things. So two different people, you had to have two people to enter the key codes. And the actual little game stickers, the high value ones, which this is super interesting, each one would have a minor imperfection, like a little portion of one of the letters was missing or something like that, which nobody would notice. But if somebody tried to fake it, have a fake ticket, they would know. And then there was also some kind of code printed on it in like that blue light ink that would only show
Like on dollars.
or a black light. Yeah.
On dollars?
On like big dollars.
Oh,
$20
really?
bills and $100 bills.
Okay.
Yeah. When they had, after they printed these high value game pieces, they had to be stuck onto like a French fry,
Yeah.
little thing,
Yeah, I remember
or a soda cup
Soda
or
cup,
something
yeah.
like that. So they would be placed into an envelope. The little tickets on their sticker thing would be placed into an envelope, and it was like this. They had this special tamper-proof seal that it was kind of metallic, and certain people would have to sign across the seal on the envelope, and so if this metallic seal had been broken, then they knew, okay, this envelope has been tampered with. And so the head of, or the guy who worked for Simon Marketing that was in charge of all this security, his name was Jerome Jacobson. He was known as Jerry.
Should be known as JJ, but Missed opportunity.
It's true. Well, he, at one point early in his career, had been a police officer in Florida. He didn't have a great time as a police officer. He got injured, and then he got sick, like a neurological thing. It was like either MS or two different stories were told, either MS or Guillain-Barré syndrome, where there was like paralysis, and he was
That's not good.
pretty sick, for a while, and he lost his job as a cop. He couldn't be a cop anymore. And it was so bad, he couldn't work at all, and he had to be taken care of by his wife, Marcia, who...
Marsha.
Yep. She worked in the security field as well. She nursed him back to health, and he recovered enough where he could go back to work, and that's when he began his career in private security, eventually getting a job with Dittler Brothers, the printing company, and that's his wife, Marcia, got him a job there. That's where she was working. And, eventually he worked his way up. He oversaw the production of the Monopoly pieces for Simon Marketing, and he became the person that would actually get that secure envelope, and then he would have to deliver the pieces to where they were going.
What was his name again?
Jerry Jacobson.
Jerry Jackson.
JJ, how could you forget?
Yeah.
My bad.
Another fun fact about Jerry is he loved psychics. And he believed in psychics. He would tell his friends and coworkers, I went to the psychic, and they told me that to invest in this, and he always talked about his investments and how he was going to be so rich.
Oh, good Lord. Invest in my business.
And at one point, the psychic told him he was going to get a big windfall.
Okay.
And he believed that psychic. And so he thought, maybe I could make my own windfall.
Okay. I don't think you understand what windfalls are, but
Yeah.
Well,
Psychic-induced thievery.
yep. He knew he was carrying around all these high-value McDonald's game pieces. And he thought, what if I just take one?
Well,
I might just help myself.
I'll
So-
tell you what if.
He started out by giving his stepbrother, whose name was Marvin Braun, so they had different last names.
Okay.
And he thought nobody, if Marvin goes and redeems the thing, his last name's Braun. Nobody's going to make a connection. So he gave Marvin a $25,000
Jeez.
winning game piece.
So
Damn.
he had access, but so he just took it out of the envelope in a way that didn't indicate the seal had been broken, or
Well-
Or he was the one who would have checked for that.
yeah, on just
Well,
slide. Or?
no, because when he would go to where he was supposed to
Deliver
go
it.
to deliver the high value pieces, he was told where to go.
Okay.
Get on
This
an
goes to
airplane.
this store.
Yes.
Okay, which is
Get on
never,
an
yeah,
airplane.
because that's how they did it. They made sure
Yes.
these pieces were
Yep.
distributed throughout the
Geographically
U.S., where no one person was going to get them.
And
Unless you drove across the country to
Yeah.
have McDonald's in LA and
then,
DC.
and we
Yeah.
still
We're
have
gonna
to
get
be
it.
insane. I mean, it was,
and he
it's
was
really
he was
kind of a pretty scammy
accompanied
game, so.
by a woman, I can't remember her name, but she was from like an accounting firm,
Mm-hmm.
and she went with him on every trip.
Okay.
And if he went to a restaurant, she had to go with him. She had to go with him the whole way. But he knew she wasn't going to go with him into the bathroom. And
So he'd switch it
Yep.
with another piece.
that's how he was able to switch it.
Okay.
Also, and the only way he was ever able to do this was the supplier who made the special metallic pieces,
Yeah.
like stickers that sealed the envelope shut, for some reason sent him
Oh.
some of them.
False.
Did he ask for them and
No,
just like
no, it was
really this
purely accidental.
I wonder if that was the germ of his idea. Like, I just got these things that could help me cover up taking a piece.
Maybe.
Maybe I'll go see a psychic and ask if I'm getting a windfall.
And so he would so he got the piece, gave the $25,000 one to his stepbrother, and his stepbrother redeemed it, got $25,000, gave whatever cut to Jerry, probably half of it at least.
At least it's all Jerry.
Then in 1995, and he started giving little pieces to people he knew. He gave his butcher a $10,000
Really?
prize ticket.
Your butcher, be a little more precious with him, Jerry.
Is he getting cuts? He's getting cuts from these people.
He
Okay.
got $2,000 for a $10,000 winning game piece. He gave his nephew a $200,000
Oh, my
winning
goodness.
game piece,
Bold.
and his nephew gave him $45,000.
I think Jerry should have driven a much, 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 much harder bargain. He's entirely responsible for this thing. All they have to do is go get free money.
Yeah.
But remember, they have to pay taxes on it.
So what? I mean, that's still. I'd say, look, you get 10 or 20%. Your risk is minimal. Mine's everything. I'd say
Yeah.
you get 20%. I get the rest. We both pay taxes. Whatever it is after taxes, we divvy that up. 80 me, 20 you.
Yeah, well, that's the deal Jerry was doing it for.
Okay.
Then in 1995, supposedly, Jerry overheard the people. They had some sort of random selection system to tell the McDonald's people where the high value, like the $1 million winning tickets, are going to go geographically in the country or
okay.
North America.
Yeah.
And supposedly he overheard them when they had randomly selected a Canadian city. And the people doing it said, "Oh no, let's run it again. We don't want to.
Really?
We don't want a winning ticket to go to Canada.
Wow.
We want it to stay in the U.S."
Rude.
What anti-Canadian? Oh my! I am very offended for Canada at this.
So apparently at
point.
that
What would
point,
Ryan Reynolds think is what I want to know.
supposedly,
I have a bracelet right there. It says WRR.
okay. At that point, Jerry was disillusioned with the integrity of the game that he was already
Okay,
cheating
Jerry.
at,
Girl.
and thought,
You're also a cop.
Okay.
Were you disillusioned about that too?
In Florida, so kind of a cop.
so I think it's at this point
Just kidding,
because up till now he hadn't done any big prizes, the ones that have to go in his tamper.
200K
resistant.
is not bad.
Yeah, but apparently that wasn't. I mean, we're talking millions. So.
I know he is at least. Well, where did his step? You said okay, his stepbrother, his nephew.
his butcher.
Yeah,
Where did he live again?
Florida.
Florida. You're still in Florida. That's right. Were they also in the Jacksonville, Florida area?
Yes.
See, that's the risk.
Yes.
That is
Is that
suspicious.
the geography is too
Yep.
minimized. You got to find somebody in other parts of the country, or even God forbid Canada, and
Yeah.
have them do it. And
Well, you'll see what he does.
Okay.
How he gets around that.
because
little hurdle.
because the risk in terms of people associated with you is
Yes.
they have last names. That's going to be difficult for someone, even looking at the numbers, to figure out or to
Yeah.
see that pattern. But a geographic lot of pinpoints there,
Yeah.
could raise red flags pretty quickly.
So I think it's at this point where he gets the tamper-resistant seals
Yeah.
accidentally delivered to him, and he figures out this is how I can do it. And so, but then he also figures, I need to figure out a way to recruit these quote-unquote winners that can't be traced back to me
Yeah.
and, in my
And or somewhere else.
geographical area. Yes.
Strangers on a train.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of strangers on a train, he meets a stranger in an airport.
Okay.
I think the Atlanta airport, because he's flying around all the
Yeah.
time, distributing
Delivering.
the tickets. He meets another Jerry, whose real name is Gennaro. He's an Italian. Gennaro Jerry Colombo, Sicilian guy.
Sure.
Columbo. That's a trap.
Yes, it is.
What?
He's an investigator. He's
Oh,
going
no.
undercover to catch this
Not
caper.
And
not
using
that
his
kind of Colombo.
real
The
name.
opposite end of the
Okay.
the crime
I
stick.
know.
He's a mobster.
He's a member of the Colombo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Franco
Mafia
Colombo.
family.
He's a made man.
He's from Brooklyn, ran strip clubs, illegal gambling operations in South Carolina. So he lives in South Carolina. And like I said, he was related to Joseph Colombo, the head of the New York mafia family. I guess
Say Franco.
what's that? The Irishman, that movie?
Uh-huh.
It has
Yeah.
something to do with that family. I don't know. Didn't
Makes
The
watch it.
Sopranos.
Well, they're a fake.
Well, yeah,
not
but they're
real.
probably based off of that. bit.
Probably, yes. And
He's like, yeah,
No.
Jack, I'm going to break it to you. The Sopranos were fake. Okay. You must. What?
Jerry's brother, Frank, describes his brother Jerry as a combination of Marlon Brando and Joe Pesci,
No,
I'm not sure that's a good thing. Either one.
or Al Capone and Rodney Dangerfield.
Positive. That's not a good thing.
My fucking. First of
Doesn't
all,
even make
no,
sense.
I don't believe
It's
you.
not impossible.
Second of all,
Sense of a woman. Oh my God, I get no respect. I'm blind. Sorry, that was bad.
Well, for some reason, when the Jerrys meet, Jerry Jacobson, I guess he figures out this is a mobster. He's cool with crime, and told him all about his
Oh my
scheme.
Bitch.
God, Jerry Jacobson is a stupid human being at this
He's
point.
well, we already knew that
Well,
from psychics, to be honest. But
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So,
But that's
Jerry.
just, I mean, no, sure. If your sense of organized crime is from the movies, all the more reason not to
steer clear.
confide in the mobster and tell him what crime you're up
they're
to.
not necessarily the most,
No.
noble folk.
Yeah,
they're not going to
you-
keep your secret.
And you'll
out
be
of
doing things you maybe
niceness.
don't want to do very quickly.
Oh, yep.
as you might have guessed,
Jeez.
Jerry Colombo wanted in on the deal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so soon after their chance meeting and fast friendship, Jerry Jacobson gave Jerry Colombo one of the winning prize tickets for a new Dodge Viper. I guess there were prizes too. I didn't really remember that.
Well,
So
besides
you could-
French fries and
French fries
small
or a
trucks?
Viper.
And $1 million.
Dodge Viper. I
Yes.
didn't know that.
And
That's funny.
Jerry Colombo was sort of a roundish Italian guy.
Rotund.
He
was chubby.
He even appeared in one of the McDonald's commercials.
No.
Saying,
I
I got the
want it."
ticket for the Dodge Viper. Yeah.
Did he speak like that? Was that a good?
Probably not. I can't do a Brooklyn Italian accent.
Let's give it a shot.
Oof, I'm not gonna.
But actually, Jerry was a little bit too husky,
For a Dodge Viper.
hefty to
Yeah.
fit into a Dodge Viper. So he got the cash equivalent instead,
Oh.
which
Oh.
is, I think, usually something you can do when you win a prize
I think
like
so
that.
too.
Yeah.
I remember reading that in game shows. You can just, it's like they'd send you on a vacation to
Cruise.
Glendale, and you say, you know what, I'll
Yeah.
take the $60 instead.
Yeah.
Give me a voucher.
Well, so Jerry Colombo began basically being a recruiter for Jerry Jacobson. He would recruit his people in his circle because he's down in South Carolina
Yeah.
to be winners for the high dollar winning tickets.
See, Jerry Jacobson is also dumb because he appears now to be doing this a lot,
Yeah.
and that's just you got to be smart
you're
about
tempting
this.
fate.
truly.
Well, so now we've got another middleman taking a cut
Yeah.
of the prizes. So Jerry Jacobson gets his cut. Jerry Colombo is getting his cut. And Jerry Colombo gives tickets to one he gave to his father-in-law. His wife's name is Robin. He obviously has a completely different name than Jerry Colombo and Jerry Jacobson. He also had a girlfriend on the side.
Jerry Colombo? Or
Jerry Colombo,
Okay.
a flight attendant. Her name's Lee Casano.
He is doing all kinds of stereotypes there.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say.
Hitting all the tropes.
He gets her a $100,000 ticket.
Whoa.
And her story is a little bit kind of sad. He gives her the ticket and basically takes her to the McDonald's, hand in your ticket, and then you fill out a form or whatever, and then eventually you get a check from McDonald's. She gets her check, and he literally goes with her to the bank to get the money, and it's clear it's a prize winning check from McDonald's, and the guy at the bank is all like, you're gonna have to pay taxes on this,
Yeah.
so make sure you keep enough money
Yeah.
set aside
Yeah.
when you have to pay the taxes. Don't forget.
And it's almost half, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Yeah.
Game
It's a
show
lot.
winnings, yes.
She owes like $50,000 on that winnings. Well, of course, her mob boss boyfriend is taking more than that. I don't know how much she got, but
So
she didn't get. I think actually what I think happened is he took all of it and then
Jeez.
told her, I'll give you,
enough for the taxes.
and then he, she kept asking for the money, and I don't know if she ever got it or not, to be honest.
Oh, I'd be singing like a canary if I were her.
Hell yeah.
I'd be like, bitch, it's him. Don't IRS, don't come for me, go after him.
Apparently, Jerry Colombo would keep the winning McDonald's tickets that Jerry Jacobson gave him. You know those little plastic round things that you would get like in a little prize machine?
Oh, like those little capsules?
Yep, like
Yes.
little capsules.
yeah,
He'd keep them
yeah.
in those, and he'd keep them in his freezer.
Freezer?
Yep. So I guess if he's ever raided or
Hidden
whatever,
away. Don't think they look in the freezer behind the meat, behind the peas.
in his freezer in the very back, he also had this wadded up piece of tinfoil.
I was hoping is it a finger? Tell
I
us a
was just
finger.
going to say a toe.
Finger, right?
It's a couple
Okay, it's a
toes.
toe or a finger or both.
An ear.
be an
No,
ear.
it's very
a human head.
consistent with the other things he keeps in his freezer. It's a gray M&M.
What?
Do you
How is-
remember? Do you remember that
No.
thing? There aren't gray M&Ms,
Disgust-
are
no,
there?
There aren't. Were there?
It's moldy.
The Mars Candy Company also ran a contest.
Find the gray
There,
M&M?
there were gray imposter M&Ms hiding in bags of candy.
So he scammed every
And if you-
game
yep.
involving
That's
food.
funny.
If you found a gray M&M in your little bag of M&Ms, it's worth $1 million.
$1 million. How do you get a gray M&M?
$1
So
How can
he-
they possibly prove? Okay, so now at that point, some chemist is going to make a gray M&M.
Or just like a baker who can do
Someone.
candy coating for chocolate.
Yeah,
just- it's
and
gonna
say,
be like-
here's a gray M&M, bro. Hey, Mars
Well,
and Murray, give me $1 million. And they're going to say, oh, this
They
was a mistake.
Probably did the same thing that McDonald's did, where there was like
Yes.
minute details that
Yes.
they could check.
Okay, I'd make 100 different gray M&Ms and hopefully one of them fits.
I wonder.
And just have a different disguise every time.
Yes, I wear a
But also-
mustache sometimes, a goatee, a Van Dyke, perhaps.
Three
I
of
wonder
you
if it
with a
was
trench coat.
really an M&M. Because what if somebody just ate it?
Yeah, I'm sure that probably
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
No, if you find an M&M inside of a plastic bubble in a freezer, you're probably not going to just eat it.
No. If somebody
In an
got
actual
an actual
bag.
gray one in their bag of M&Ms.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jerry's
I mean,
M&M.
I don't
Oh, that would be
remember hearing about this.
horrific. Can you imagine? Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, I would have thought it was weird, but
Or
I
you go,
don't-
or if you didn't know it was related to a contest, gray M&M, jump,
exactly.
and then you find it the next day, and then you kill yourself.
So anyway, his wife Robin claims she almost ate that gray M&M. Why?
the
Because it
monster
was
wife.
wrapped in tinfoil, but whatever.
She was real hungry.
She thought it might have been an 8-ball.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that's
I'm
true.
gonna just
yes.
OD.
Could have been black tar heroin.
Could have
Well, Jerry Colombo, because he was Italian and mob connected and all that kind of stuff, he started calling Jerry Jacobson Uncle Jerry. So
Italians do that?
So I guess so. It's like a in their custom. It's like a sign of respect or whatever.
wait, the Jerry Colombo called Jerry Jacobson Uncle Jerry.
Jerry.
What was the age difference? What were the ages?
Honestly, I don't know.
'Cause that seems weird.
They were probably around the same age.
Same age, or if the uncle is younger, that seems very strange to me.
I don't know. If anything, maybe Jerry Colombo was slightly younger
Okay.
than Jerry Jacobson. I don't know for certain.
Okay.
I know Jerry Jacobson was born like in 1943 or something like that.
I'll take your word for it.
So, but Colombo, like I said, he had strip clubs and all that kind of stuff. And I think at one point he wanted to go on the up and up, have a legal business. So he started these strip clubs in
Clubs are legal business.
South Carolina. No, I know, but he was doing
Oh, he was
illegal
doing-
gambling
yeah.
and stuff like that before.
He was
And-
in the numbers racket.
So
No.
he opened these clubs, and the gimmick was fuzzy bunnies, obviously Playboyish.
Fuzzy bunnies. Okay.
But local governments
Could you
and
explain that to me? What is he? Is it referring to something specific?
strippers.
Never mind.
No, it's
Oh.
not talking about
Never
pubic hair on a
mind.
woman's vagina.
I thought he was.
Oh, I was assuming they were
that
supposed
would be a fuzzy beaver, obviously.
Well, I know, but you can't be too on the nose in that business. You got to be a little more creative.
No, I think he's just ripping off.
I thought he was a knockoff Playboy, but
I'm
to be
pretty sure
honest.
he's just trying to rip off Playboy with
Okay,
that
fine.
Kleber bunny.
But so anyway, local
The
government.
fuzzy beaver would be a pretty good name for a strip club, though. You have. To
I'm
admit.
sure it
That'd
is.
be-
Can I
sorry.
continue?
Yeah, sorry. We're
Okay.
just talking about strip club names. Which
I
think
know.
is worthwhile.
So local governments and probably neighborhood groups and stuff in South Carolina were trying to prevent him from opening this club. They didn't like it. There were ordinances like you can't have strippers within 1,000 feet of a school or something like that. So he decided he was going to get around these ordinances by declaring his club a church,
Okay.
the Church of the Fuzzy Bunnies. I don't
Worship
know if that's
the
what it was called.
titties.
And so they literally would have little Bible readings
Oh my god.
before the strippers in pasties would come out dancing. I don't know how long this lasted.
Matthew 3:1.
Well, sadly, in 1998, he wasn't doing so well with his wife, Robin. You know, she found out that he was cheating on her,
Almost ate the M&M too.
possibly with the flight attendant. Maybe
who he ripped off.
he might have had more than one girl on
Probably.
the side. And she actually, I guess, talked to Jerry Jacobson about it. And she claims that Jerry Jacobson said, well, leave him and marry me.
Really? Wait. Okay. Jerry Jacobs was married though.
Probably not at that time. Jerry Jacobson was married 7 times.
Oh my God.
So-
but it was the wife who got him the job
Yes.
at Dittler
Yep.
Security.
Yes.
Okay.
And nursed him back to health.
And nursed him back to
Yes.
health, and then he got divorced.
They got divorced, yeah.
That sounds about fucking right.
Yep.
7 times.
Yeah.
Men.
Yeah.
Good
fuck?
Lord.
She didn't marry Jerry Jacobson. But so in 1998, apparently Jerry Colombo and his wife Robin were trying to work on their marriage. They had a 2-year-old son at the time, and they were driving somewhere. I don't know where they were going, but they were in a horrific car accident,
Uh-oh.
and they were airlifted
Oh,
to
Hospital.
hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Robin
That's the word.
Robin was okay. She had a few broken bones
Oh.
or something. Their son had like a
Died.
broken arm, and that was it. He wasn't even in a car seat. He wasn't even belted.
Oh my goodness.
In fact,
Ralph Nader is going to come to their house.
I know the dad. I think Robin must have been driving, and so Jerry had just unbuckled him out of his car seat because he was tired and he wanted to lay down. So he unbuckled him so he could lay down in the back seat and take a nap. And right after he did that is when they got
Into the accident.
hit. And I guess the car seat, the story is, who knows? This is always the story. The car seat was mangled, and if he had been in the car seat, he
okay.
would have died.
Maybe
Whatever.
not. What happened to Jerry?
So Jerry, he called his brother and said, oh, they're airlifting me. We were in a car accident. And his brother, Frank, says he sounded fine. He's all like, well, why are you, you sound fine. Why are you being airlifted? I don't know, whatever. He ends up in ICU. And, Frank and his wife go to visit him, and there's people there, and he seems to be okay. He's talking and everything. Well, apparently he had all kinds of internal injuries.
Yep.
And 2 weeks later, he died.
Death.
That could be a little bit of karma going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Although she almost ate the gray M&M.
Yes.
But he was a
Different
low-life mobster.
couple.
Well, so now Uncle
No, wait,
Jerry.
this is Jerry Colombo.
This is Jerry Jacobson.
No, Jerry Colombo.
Just Jerry Colombo.
Oh, God.
The Italian guy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's dead.
So he's dead.
So now Jerry Jacobson needs a new helper.
He needs new recruiters. He needs new middlemen. Well, he did so well.
Is this how long has this been going on now? By now? Is this
You said
is this-
1998.
So it's like 3
Now we're
years or so.
98.
Okay.
Yeah, a few years. He did so well meeting his last middleman in an airport.
Oh my Jesus.
He meets his next guy on a cruise.
Oh my.
Oh, God. I was
okay.
going to say train station.
And, by this time, this is going great for Uncle Jerry. He's super confident.
He's not your Uncle Jerry.
He's he's got his method down pat. He's got his little scheme, and it's working really well.
Doesn't the person who goes with him to these cities think it's always weird how he has to go to the bathroom before he hands over the ticket to the guy at to the McDonald's manager? I don't know. You think that person would have?
He's doing it in airport bathrooms.
Oh, so okay.
So-
Got it.
It makes perfect sense.
Damn it! I thought he was at the McDonald's when he got there.
Yeah.
Damn it! I thought. Never mind.
And he's got the things in a briefcase. So all the accountant had to do was say, "I'll keep that while you go to the bathroom," and
Yeah.
his thing would have been foiled.
But then he could have said, I can't trust you with that. You might be. I can't imagine what you might be up to, but you might be up to no good.
True.
I'll take that with me.
No, I'd
Although,
be like, I'm the one staying in a public space.
yeah,
Oh.
and he designed his own little vest that he would wear under his clothes, and that's where he would stash the real tickets.
Oh, my God. He's
Yeah.
the sundial salesman.
And he would say, because you could tell he had this vest on, and he used to say he was wearing a bulletproof vest because he was so worried because he was carrying these $1 million tickets.
That's so funny. Like he's a Brinks security.
Yes.
fucking-
And the people said when he would arrive at the place where they were supposed to put the tickets on the, McDonald's products and stuff like that, he would make this big show of, see this seal. It's, you can tell it's it hasn't been tampered with. with.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
That in and of itself would be suspicious to
Yeah, it
me.
would.
I'd be like,
Yep.
buddy,
yeah.
I didn't ask.
Didn't think it was, but now I do.
I know. Let me draw attention to the very thing that could give me away.
Yep.
Not a great plan, Columbo. Nope, not Columbo.
Jerry.
JJ.
Jerry
Come,
Jacobson. And I don't know if he did have some little bit of guilt about what he was doing, or if maybe he was a little bit generous, but he decided that in 1998 he wanted to do something good with one of these $1 million winning tickets. So he decided to send it anonymously to St. Jude Children's Hospital.
Well, that's incredibly stupid.
Why?
Because they're going to know that's not okay. That's not how the game works.
You're right, because supposedly the tickets are not transferable or whatever.
Yeah.
So McDonald's, when they find out about it, great PR for McDonald's,
Yeah, we'll
right?
find out who this winner is. He was so generous.
No, not that.
No, it's $1 million to
Yeah,
St. Jude's.
like
okay, yeah.
you can't really win the prize, but McDonald's will donate $1 million to
Oh.
St. Jude. Is how that worked. And this little stunt made the national news. It was a big deal. I think Ronald McDonald was there.
The Ronald McDonald.
Yep.
So now
Yep.
McDonald's has got wind.
So a touch of dignity in this for this charitable hospital
Mm-hmm.
there. Having Ronald actually give them the money. That's classic.
Well, no,
The hamburger tried to steal it, and Ronald got it back.
And then Grimace, who is a taste bud.
this did not make McDonald's suspicious. Everybody thought some generous person won $1 million
Genuinely won it.
$1 million game piece and just sent it to St. Jude Hospital.
Interesting.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd want to know who.
Yeah.
If I
But
I would still want to know who.
I know, but
There's no way.
no way to do it. So yeah, they're not.
Well, so he still needed more recruiters, and of course,
Manhunt.
he goes on a cruise and he meets a man named Don Hart, who's from Georgia.
And this is his 8th wife.
No, it's a man.
That could be
Oh,
a wife.
okay.
If you want it to be.
Sure. He had previously run a trucking company, and Don brings in 2 other
Jeez.
people.
Stop bringing in more people.
Richard Couturier, something like that,
Couturier, He's mixed couture.
Gautier.
Uh-huh.
Dick
and
Gautier.
a guy named Andrew Glomb, Golmb.
Ooh, I like that name.
Richard Couturier,
Just call him Rick.
Yeah, Rick.
he liked to give his game pieces away at parties. And Andrew Glomb was kind of a little criminal himself. He had done prison time for transporting cocaine on an airplane. And he would give his game pieces to people he thought were in dire need of money. One of
Wait,
whom,
they're not getting cuts?
well,
How does
I'm
that
sure
work?
they were. Yes,
Okay.
they'd get a cut of it because they'd
Okay.
have to give a cut
Yeah,
to
to
presumably, and maybe
Okay.
even Don Hart,
Yeah, I know.
the guy that
It's going
brought
down
him
the line.
in.
This is like a MLM scam with other people's money.
Yep. And the last person that Uncle Jerry found to help him with recruiting winners was a real upstanding citizen, a member of the Mormon Church, real estate
Mark
developer,
Hoffman. No, who?
if that gives you any idea of.
That doesn't.
David Miscavige.
His name was Dwight Baker.
Dwight Baker.
He had gotten injured in a tractor accident. He injured his spine in a tractor accident. I don't know what a real estate developer is doing on a tractor, but
Just getting his hands dirty.
Yeah.
Get in on it, man. So, let me do that for a while. And then he almost died.
he had fallen on hard times financially and wasn't doing so well at the moment. He had 5 kids and a wife, and they had been playing the McDonald's Monopoly game themselves, collecting the little pieces.
Just 5 kids, just 1 wife?
Yeah. Hoping to win one of those big prizes to help pay off. In fact, he owed tens of thousands of dollars in back taxes.
That's a terrible plan, by the way, to pay off your back taxes.
Yes,
Just
it is.
FYI.
Well, Dwight Baker thought he would give one of the prize pieces to his foster son, who is now an adult but had come to stay with them when he was, I think, like a teenager.
29.
Gave one to his sister-in-law and some other friends who they had to go through some process to do this. They had to set up a resident, kind of like a phony residence, because they had to to be from different areas. They couldn't have so many winners, and all of Dwight Baker's winners couldn't live in the town of Fairplay, South Carolina, which is where he lived.
Okay.
That's perfect.
So they would make up, phony addresses, and so they could have their mail sent to different parts of the country, so they weren't all in one area. But unfortunately, by this time,
Was this a normal amount of winnings?
Yeah.
Did McDonald's notice there's a lot more winners these last few years, or is it just
no, I don't think
the
so.
background noise? I guess not. Yeah, because they know that those number of winning tickets are going out.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just not going to the McDonald's store to be okay.
They're not being
Yeah.
distributed correctly.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, but they don't have any idea
No.
how the game pieces are being distributed.
Yeah, and I'm not tracking that. Look, we sent them to these places, and people who won them weren't from those places.
Right.
Yeah.
They sent them to Maryland, and the winner was in South Carolina. They sent them to whatever,
You'd think
Seattle, and
they-
the winner was in
You'd think they would
Jacksonville.
have.
I know. You think they would have found this out very
yeah,
quickly.
I didn't read anywhere or see anywhere in the documentary where Jacobson was keeping track of that, because he knew where he was delivering the
Yeah.
pieces, the supposed winning pieces to.
Do you have any idea how many? I mean, how many per year? How many winnings, say, $25,000 and above, was McDonald's giving out? Because
I don't know.
It would just literally take a spreadsheet and go, okay, it was sent to this place. The winner was this person
Right.
at this place, and you would see this disconnect very
Yeah.
quickly.
And maybe he was telling them, set up a phony residence in Maryland,
Yeah.
set up a phony residence.
Was he though? I wonder.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I said. They never said
Specified.
that he was doing that.
Yeah.
But if he was smart, he would have been doing that.
But we proved he was not.
Yeah.
First of all, he got a mobster involved really quickly.
Yes.
So
Well,
no.
but lucky for him, the mobster died.
Yeah. Okay.
Ha.
Well, so in March of 2000, so now we're in 2000, the FBI gets an anonymous tip. The tip is that someone named Uncle Jerry was rigging the McDonald's Monopoly game and stealing game pieces and selling them.
That's interesting. That indicates it's from someone who is tangentially involved with it. They heard somebody say something about Uncle Jerry being the main person, and that's all they
Or
knew.
maybe somebody wants revenge.
But they didn't give any more details than that. So that's not a whole lot
No,
to
it's
go
not.
on if you're in the FBI. And this tip went to the Jacksonville, Florida FBI office.
Okay, that's warmer. Because they do have a guy named Jerry in the security department of Dittler that actually flies the pieces around. That actually
And
Would
used to
be-
be a cop in
that
Jacksonville,
would be
Florida.
he and lives in Jacksonville, Florida.
Continually.
Well-
That's actually not a bad tip.
So the FBI at the time, they're working on, I guess, healthcare fraud was a big deal at the time, and they were doing white collar stuff.
Okay.
And so the agent in charge who got this tip just kind of whatever, didn't sound like a big deal to him. He probably didn't even know a whole lot about the McDonald's Monopoly game.
See, if he had played the game and only gotten small fries and small sodas, he would have been really pissed off and wanted to get to the bottom of that.
Or maybe he would have thought, oh, so what? Somebody's
Yeah.
rigging it to win fries and sodas. Who cares? But
Oh.
If I didn't realize
Yeah.
how much money
So the
there was
tip
behind
didn't
it.
say it's cash. It's just that someone's
Correct.
cheating this. Okay.
a more junior agent, I guess, saw the little note on his desk about this tip and said something like, hey, what is that? And he goes, oh, I don't know, it's this McDonald's thing. And so he said, you mind if I look into it, check into it? And so he did. And if you watch the McMillions HBO documentary series on this, that young FBI agent is all over the documentary. He loves the camera.
God.
His name is Doug something, but he's very entertaining and funny. But so they start looking into it and saying, this is a big fraudulent scheme. They took some winners, they looked at recent winners, and I think they had to contact McDonald's to find out some winners. And they started looking, trying to see if any of them were connected in
that's
any way.
Yeah, that'd be the first way you do it. Because if you're going to scam this thing, you've got to know the people who are in cahoots with
Yep.
you somehow.
And so they thought, do we contact McDonald's right off the bat? Because what if somebody high up in McDonald's is involved in this?
But they already got some names of winners, right? So
Well,
they had to tell them something at
I
McDonald's.
probably before they got the names of winners. So I think what they did was they contacted the head of security for McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's, okay.
and said, "This is the FBI. We need you to come meet with us in Jacksonville, Florida, the Jacksonville, Florida FBI office." And I guess the guy at McDonald's said, "Okay." Didn't know why. And so when he got there, they explained to him what was going on. And I think they, hashed out, what do we do? How do, so he probably provided them with a lot of the information they needed on who winners were and stuff like that. And so they went through phone records to see, are there any common contacts where these winners are having phone contact with the same person. Mm-hmm. And that's how they find a name. And they knew they had Uncle Jerry.
Oh, I see. Like a massive phone tree. And
Yep.
Okay.
And then I think they found Jerome. I don't know if that's when they find Jerome. Maybe I should look at my notes. They did. They found out that 3 recent winners were all connected to this Uncle Jerry. And let's see here.
Wait, to Uncle Jerry, you mean to Jerome?
Yeah, that's who Uncle Jerry is.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Well, I don't think they knew who Uncle Jerry was, but they knew that a common contact.
Huh.
The
It all
3
led
people
back to Uncle Jerry.
were connected.
Okay.
I don't think they knew who Uncle Jerry was yet.
Like through Dwight and those other people that he was working with.
Eventually. And they realized that these 3 winners were connected with a common contact. And, the odds of just one person winning were astronomical. The odds of 3 people who had some sort of connection to each other was all but impossible.
Yeah, that raises a red flag.
Yes, couldn't happen. So they get the top brass from McDonald's to come to a meeting.
Mr. McDonald himself.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald.
And they tell them, we know something's going on with your Monopoly game, but what we want you to do to help us figure it out is run the game again.
A sting, bitch.
So that we can then, because they were going to get permission to do wiretaps and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so they thought there will be phone communication with Uncle Jerry. And then they'll be able to basically catch him in the act. And that would be better evidence for future prosecutions.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't look into the printing company. Dittler Brothers.
Yeah, they're actually doing it and distributing it.
Exactly,
right?
which is where the source of the issue was.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they did. It wasn't Dittler. It was Simon Marketing. He started out with Dittler.
Oh,
remember?
so
and
now
then I
he's
said he worked
working
his
for
way
Simon
up.
Marketing.
Yeah, and he was working for Simon Marketing when he was traveling around and when he was actually selling the tickets.
So whatever. So Simon Marketing is still
Yeah.
whoever's actually making and distributing the tickets. Those are the people you should be looking at.
Well, they do figure out. They don't know for sure that Jerome Jacobson is Uncle Jerry because they also have a lot of common phone things with winners with Jerry Colombo. So they have 2 possible Uncle Jerrys.
Yeah.
And so they know that Columbo's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
if it's still going on and Columbo's dead, I think that takes care of one of your Jerrys.
Yeah.
He's been dead since 98. It's now 2000.
That's true.
So
Well, but he could have been the original Uncle Jerry.
that's true.
So they thought, as soon as we tell the McDonald's guys, this is what we want to do, run the game again, they'd be, okay, we'll go do it. And they said, we're going to go think about it.
Yeah.
And the FBI guys were a little disappointed. So I guess it had to go all the way up to the CEO of McDonald's to allow it to happen. Yeah, Ronald.
Oh, is that Grimace?
Yeah, Grimace is the CEO.
And so obviously they end up saying, yeah, go ahead and do it. Because what do they have to, what's the risk? A few $1 million. And if they don't do it, well,
for McDonald's.
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
a drop in the
nothing.
bucket.
Yeah.
And their sales will increase.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're going to
that's
gain
true.
more in new sales than they could possibly risk. And also, I think they weighed the bad press. If when this all comes out, that the FBI says McDonald's did not cooperate.
Yeah. So I guess, okay, so that's the key there, because
Yeah.
otherwise, if it's not going to come out, if McDonald's doesn't run the game again, I think they don't run the game again.
Yeah.
But since they knew it was going to come out
Yes.
regardless.
They knew it was going to come
kinda
out
had to.
regardless.
Because
And
people would lose trust in the institution. That is.
well,
McDonald's.
they were also probably shitting their pants thinking, well, what if it's an inside job?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
true.
it kind of was, but
Kind
what
of
if it
is,
was a McDonald's employee? Then
Which
that-
that's what I was thinking that when you said they contacted the head of McDonald's security. He's a potential perp.
I know. So, and they
she.
really had no way of knowing, but so they wanted to basically gather evidence. So they contacted a lot of the past fraudulent winners, and they used the McDonald's real like corporate spokesperson, PR kind of lady.
Yeah.
Her name's Amy Murray. So they basically set up this little undercover operation where they would contact these winners and say, we're a production company for McDonald's. They named it Shamrock Productions.
Sure.
And it was all FBI agents except for Amy, who really was the McDonald's employee, because she knew what to say and what questions to ask and things like that. How she would really do this if this is something
Yeah.
she was doing for McDonald's. And they would basically, set them up with this backdrop, and it was basically interview style, asking them questions like, tell us how you won. What were you
Yeah.
doing? What was your day? How were you, where did you get the ticket? What McDonald's did you go to? And but knowing they're lying
Yeah.
about everything they're telling them in this story.
She's basically interrogating these hoes.
Yes.
Now
And
let's see
then-
the receipt from that McDonald's on that day.
Right.
And then they'd
Let
be
her
able,
arrest.
At 6:30 p.m.
they'd be able to use that. And this one guy, I forget what his first name was, Michael Hoover or something like that,
That's
telling
both
this
of his names.
elaborate story about how he was on a beach and he was reading a People magazine, and a gust of wind carried
my
his
God.
People magazine into the ocean, but he really wanted to finish that People magazine. I forget what.
World's sexiest man.
Yeah. So
I think
he,
that was the Clooney.
No, Brangelina breakup. I mean,
Yeah,
no.
it could have been that.
Brenna Bennifer breakup.
so he had to go to the store to buy another People magazine, and he was flipping through it, and he found the McDonald's insert with the game piece, and that's how he won his $1 million.
Mike, settle down. Just
and
say
there were two sets of footprints in the sand.
Honestly, I don't really remember. That was a long time ago. I don't know. I just went to McDonald's and I bought a Coke.
Yeah.
Really, I would remember in minute detail how I won $1 million.
I suppose I would.
I probably
Yes.
would.
I wouldn't gild the
Oh,
lily.
he knew
though,
all the
with whole-
details. He
Yeah.
told details. They just knew it wasn't true. And they asked him what he did with his money, and he said
Gave most of it to a mobster.
he bought a boat that he named Ruthless Scoundrel.
Oh, well.
And I think he was one. I don't know if he was one of Columbo's recruits or not, but Columbo's father-in-law, his wife Robin's father, he was one of the people that they brought in to do the video. He claimed that he was in New Hampshire because his fake residence was in New Hampshire. So he was trying to tell the story about how he was in New Hampshire and where he bought the ticket. And the poor man, it's in the HBO documentary. You could tell he was lying. He was sweating. And they would have to tell him, here, you want to mop your brow? Because, I mean, just sweating. And you could just tell he's trying to make up this story as he's going along. Why he didn't
Yeah.
figure it out beforehand and have
yeah.
his story ready, but
Tell us about New Hampshire. Well, there was lots of palm trees, and I remember,
There was a Martha Stewart, I think.
I'm pretty sure.
it was hilarious. Well, so then in 2001, the FBI asked, because they were rerunning the game, they asked them to delay sending out the prize money to winners. And then the people who are waiting for their money, they're going to get all
Antsy.
panicky, and they start calling. Start calling Uncle Jerry. Start calling people saying,
So
"Where's my money? I got it."
I see. So go
And-
after people who aren't, but real winners are going to be calling too, right? Or they're just holding the money of the fake winners?
Just
or- okay.
just the big
Yeah.
ones because they know. And so one of the Dwight Baker's people, he's the good upstanding Mormon real estate developer. One of the people that he recruited was his sister-in-law, his wife's sister. Her name was Brenda, with a $500,000 game piece.
Yeesh.
And he
That's
said,
a
you know,
lot.
because he needed money, and he had already given $1 million ticket to his foster son, George
For
Chandler.
a massive cut, I have no doubt.
I don't know how much he got. He got some. George Chandler had to pay $100,000 for that $1 million ticket. And so you don't get $1 million up front. You get $50,000 a year for 20 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So George had to pay $100,000. He doesn't start making money until the third year. So it's not a
Long
get rich
So
quick.
George had to
It's
give Dwight $100K, and that was going to be Dwight's total cut, I assume.
No, Dwight didn't get the whole
Oh.
100K. Some of it had to go to. I don't know how much Dwight would get out of that because some had to go to Jerry, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys, they're not that great.
So Dwight
No.
wants some money, and he wants some money now. So he's offered this $500,000 ticket. He doesn't have the money to pay Jerry Jacobson for it, but he knows his sister-in-law does. So he says, "Hey, you buy the ticket, and
So
we'll-"
basically, you're paying Jerry's cut up front.
Yes.
Okay.
And so he said, "You get the ticket, you redeem it, and we'll split the money."
Okay.
And so he thought he was going to have to convince her, talk her into it.
He's like, I'm in.
Yep. She took it immediately. So, you know, she goes through the process to redeem the ticket, and you have to wait until you get your little FedEx envelope with your check in it from McDonald's. And so on the day that, or, you know, when he knew that she was going to have gotten her FedEx envelope, he goes over to her house, you know, probably all excited to get his cut of the money. And he goes inside and he sees a empty FedEx envelope on the floor. It had been opened, and now it's empty, and so is her house.
Oh my God, it was worth. I thought she was wealthy.
Well,
Was
I
it the
don't
whole
know.
thing,
I
or
don't
was it
know
'cause,
how
I
wealthy
mean-
she was, but she had enough money to pay whatever.
It's a $500,000 ticket. I can't imagine that's a small amount of money that Jerry's going to want. He's going to want a
Well, if it-
sizable cut. I would
Probably
think.
50,000.
Okay, so 50,000. So he's enough to pay 50,000 bucks. Is 500,000 low enough where they get it at one lump sum?
I think so. Must be.
Really?
It must be. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not worth it for her
Yeah.
to do a runner, for her to go to Brazil,
Yeah.
whatever. So she gets
She was-
500K
and she's
and
doing
takes
a
off. So
runner.
she's not going to pay the tax either. She gets 500K.
Depending on where she's going, right?
So she's up net 450.
Yep.
She's going to Acapulco.
Yeah,
So-
she's going someplace where she's not going to have to worry about paying U.S. taxes.
Well, the FBI they know that, you know, she redeemed the fraudulent $500,000 ticket, and
This was his sister or sister-in-law?
sister-in-law,
Okay.
his current wife's sister.
Wow.
So the FBI has their phones tapped. So they're, you know, making the mistake of talking about this on the phone, and oh my God, she's running away with the money, and let's go get her. She's got to, you know, she must have gone to the airport. And so they track her to the airport, and the FBI, at one point, I don't know, because he was trying to call her. And so the FBI heard those calls. Well, he didn't hang up.
What?
So they can hear him and his wife talking about, oh my God, let's go to the airport. Let's go get her. Let's, you know,
Yeah, these are not good criminals.
they thought that they were talking about they're going to kill her.
Ooh.
They're pissed off. She's got the cash, their cash.
Consider it.
I know that would be a logical conclusion.
She's at the airport. They're going to go kill her. So now they're thinking, shit, we can't stand by and let somebody get killed, right? So they have to scramble, get FBI agents she's at the Indianapolis airport, I think. They have to get FBI agents to the airport where sister-in-law Brenda is to prevent her from getting killed, but they have to be undercover because they don't want to tip Dwight off that they're onto them. So in the end, they weren't planning on killing her. They were talking about confronting her, apparently, at the airport.
Yeah. Well,
So-
if she's at the airport, they're probably not going to kill her at the airport. So that's probably.
They'd drag her out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they were talking. They were saying we can't do it at the airport.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. Well, maybe they might have.
Well-
been
They
intending-
might, yeah. They
Well,
might have been.
Dwight laughs about it in the documentary and says, "No, we weren't talking about killing her. We were talking about we can't confront her in the airport.
Uh-huh.
Really? Why not?
Why couldn't you?
People have
Exactly.
fights in the airport all the time.
Absolutely, they could confront her in the airport.
Well, maybe not about a multi-state
No, but
scam.
you could. Sure, you could. You find a semi-private place. No one's going to know what you're talking about.
Is there a semi-private place at an
Well, you know what I mean? But
airport?
no, people aren't going to know.
Yeah, I mean,
Give us the money you owe us. People aren't going to know what that
Yeah.
means. Oh, that must be a scam.
but so anyway, I don't know what ended up going down, but they did not kill her, and the
No.
FBI didn't have to do anything at that point and compromise their.
Did she get out of the country? The
No.
sister-in-law? No.
No.
Oh.
So they also are continuing their wiretaps and surveillance. And Jerry and Dwight, again with Dwight, they had made a plan to meet somewhere along the highway between their homes. I think Jerry was in Atlanta, Dwight was in South Carolina, I think. So whatever the highway is where they would meet,
I-95. I have no idea.
I don't think so, but that's where they were going to
40.
meet. But they weren't more specific than that. So the FBI really didn't have any idea. They knew the date and time-ish they were going to meet. So they had to kind of surveil this big, long stretch of highway and try to deduce where they could possibly be meeting, at a restaurant,
I'm going to say McDonald's.
at a restaurant, at a McDonald's.
Got to be McDonald's.
Well, apparently there was a winery, the Chateau Elan, and
In South Carolina?
wherever halfway in between.
Well,
Yeah,
Georgia and
wherever.
South Carolina are borders, so they're not that far apart.
Well, wherever they were in those states.
Who knows?
And so that was one of the places that they thought was a potential meeting place. And so apparently that's where they met. They just each pull up in their cars in the parking lot. And they actually, FBI had a helicopter, and then they also had somebody down on the ground, and they could literally see them exchanging envelopes or whatever. And they got video of it. So this was great evidence.
The helicopter, though, not very stealthy, guys.
It's not.
It didn't
They
tip
weren't
them
like,
off.
What is it? It's hovering above us?
If
Huh.
I were them, I would be
that a
on
camera?
high alert.
Well, the FBI also and remember when I told you they set up the fake production company to get the past winners to
Shamrock
come
Productions.
talk to them.
It's named
Sham.
after. Oh, that's a good one.
They
I
did
thought
that
it was
on
named,
purpose.
but it's named after the vanilla
Yeah.
shake
Mint.
with green food coloring.
Probably.
Correct.
Well, they
It's not mint. Is it really mint?
Yeah.
Shamrock
I
Shake
haven't had
is
Shamrock
mint.
Shake
Yeah.
since 1984, so I
they
don't
are
know.
mint.
They're gross.
Well, they told them that McDonald's was going to have this special reunion of past winners, and they were going to invite them, all expenses paid, to this wonderful reunion in Las Vegas. And when at the reunion in Vegas, they were going to have the big screen, and they were going to play these videos of the winners talking about how they won their millions.
That's
and,
really
and what
funny.
they did with it.
Because
It's-
why would
Yeah.
McDonald's
I know.
ever do that?
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah,
Really?
Sure.
Why?
PR.
Why would it be worth
PR.
it?
film it.
Yeah.
Go.
all the-
I guess.
Yeah.
You too can win.
Yep.
And more people go to McDonald's and don't win.
So in August 2001, when John Ashcroft announced this, the 8 people were arrested, and funny story, they were all across the country. They weren't all in one place, obviously. And so they had to arrange with different FBI offices in different parts of the country to make the arrests. And so they had to fax all of, all the arrest information to the different offices. And it was like 20, 30 pages long. There was a lot of information.
That fax noise.
Yes. And so they were faxing it. And so the person who was sending out the faxes, they had like speed dials of the different FBI offices on the FBI fax machine. Why they would have this number on their speed dial, I don't know, but he thought
Strip
he
club.
was hitting the Greenville FBI office number. Instead, it was the Greenville News number.
Oh. Well, that does make sense.
Yeah, but maybe
They-
have it on a different machine,
Yes,
not the machine
that's
that you're
probably good.
sending
Yes,
this.
for security
Yeah.
purposes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
so
That's awkward.
That's
Twen-
a big fuck
What's
up.
this?
yes, this 20, and this is like the day that the arrests are supposed to be made.
Oh,
This
no.
24-year-old reporter who he does the crime beat or whatever gets into the office, and he said there's this big packet on his chair, and he looks at it and he's flipping through it from the FBI. No big deal. It's probably
Yeah.
something that they've gotten before, but he's
If there's a
reading
speed
through
dial.
it. It's not a press release. This is like an ongoing
An internal document.
investigation. They're talking about, making arrests. And so he talked to his boss about it. And I don't know how the FBI figure it out. Maybe they called the
Because the
FBI.
Greenville FBI goes, we didn't get it. And he
Yeah,
goes, oh my God,
exactly.
the button right below you
Yes.
is, I'll call you back.
Hey, where's that fax?
Damn
fuck.
it.
Could you imagine? And
Oh,
they,
shit my pants.
Yeah.
Pissing, shitting, and crying.
yep. So the assistant or the U.S. attorney who was prosecuting the case and some other FBI guys had to fly real quick to the Greenville News, and they said, beg and plead with them, don't run with this story. And they were the newspaper was under no obligation.
Oh,
Yeah.
They could have done it if they wanted to, but they promised them.
Write the story
Exclusive.
and you'll be able to put it on your website. Do they have a website in 2001? Before anybody else does.
But they also
They'll
promised
still
them
scoop it.
to
An
tell them
exclusive
where to
scoop.
be to take photos and stuff like
Okay,
that.
that's
So they
good.
could, yeah.
All right.
So they did that, and apparently they did agree to it.
That's what you got to do.
Sure.
You got to barter.
So 8 people were arrested that day, and I guess it was a big deal about who was going to go arrest who. And okay, so yeah, they arrested everybody. Dwight Baker's wife, Linda, also got arrested.
Linda.
She deserves it.
Gloria Brown, I didn't talk too much about her, but she was a $1 million winner. She was a friend of Jerry Colombo's wife, Robin. And she didn't have a lot of money. She had to mortgage her house to come up with the money to pay for her ticket.
That's not a good idea, not Linda.
Gloria. And then, you only get $50,000 a year. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at, but you're not rich. And to the world, to your
Yeah.
friends, to everybody in town, it looks like
Get a
you're a
million.
millionaire. You won $1 million, but you're not.
Yeah.
You don't, it's not a ton of money every year. And because she got it fraudulently, she didn't even get all of it. So anyway, didn't really put her in a very good position, but she was on the list of people to be arrested, and she wasn't arrested immediately, but her sister called her to tell her, hey, turn on the TV. They're talking about you.
Uh-oh.
And on the news.
By name?
Yes.
Ooh.
And so it said she had been indicted
Oh.
for, in this McDonald's scheme. And she's all like, oh, shit. And while she's on the phone with her sister, the
Knock,
FBI
knock.
comes a knocking. And she's in the documentary too. And she's, this real nice lady and who just got caught up in something, and which obviously she knew was wrong.
Yeah.
But as soon as the FBI's in her house, she's spilling everything. She's admitted to everything. She told them all that she knew. So they didn't arrest her that day. She had been indicted. She was in trouble. She was being charged, but they let her, get her affairs in order before anything happened to her. And I'm pretty sure she pled guilty and got a deal. I don't think she did any jail time, to be honest. And the last person to be arrested was Andrew Glom in Florida, because he lived in a house behind gates. The FBI couldn't just go knock on his front door, so they had to wait a while to come up with some scheme to get him to come out for some reason.
Free pizza?
Like
Because
a vampire, they have to be invited in.
Yeah, that doesn't
That's-
make sense. They can go in if they
Get a
want.
Well,
warrant.
he
Yeah.
thought they had a warrant for his
then
arrest.
I'm confused.
Like they didn't want to bash the gates
I would
in.
call the thing
So-
and say, "Come out, or we're going
Yeah.
to bash your gates in."
I'd
Your
say
choice.
buzz, Andrew.
Well, eventually
And we have no problem bashing your gates in. In fact, we prefer to. You have 10 seconds.
Say, yeah, bash the rich bitch's gates in.
Well, apparently the FBI back in those days didn't
Why
do
are they
that.
so nice to him?
I know.
I say they should be meaner to rich people.
They got the sheriff to coax them out on some pretext about burglaries in the neighborhood or something like that, and so they arrested him then. Uncle Jerome, they got him in Atlanta, and they also seized a sports car that had a trash bag full of money in the trunk
Oh, Jerry.
for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like his getaway thing. Like if he hears about it all fall down, I'm going to drive off in my Dodge Viper with my bag of
Yeah,
cash.
Yeah.
probably. George Chandler was also indicted, the foster son, the good Mormon guy. Dwight
Baker.
Baker's foster son. He was a $1 million winner who had to come up with $100,000. The story Dwight Baker gave him when he was offering him the ticket wasn't that, hey, I bought this ticket from you can buy this ticket from the McDonald's guy, was that, you know, he knew a guy who had the ticket, but he was going through a messy divorce. And he really got the ticket after the divorce had started, but he knew that the wife, you know, was a horrible woman and was going to try to claim half of the winnings. So if you just give him $100,000, really, so he could have $500,000 and give his wife, but didn't want to.
250.
So he'll give you the $1 million for $100,000.
Either he's making the story that, you know, he really was never told that, or he's just dumb.
So that's how George got his. So he was also indicted and charged. There were like 51 people charged in this scheme. They all pled guilty except for 7. And George was one of the ones who wanted to go to trial because he claims he really didn't know anything about it. And he could afford a good attorney. And that attorney tried to, you know, who knew the U.S. attorney. They had worked together before or something like that. So he thought, oh, we got this in the bag. You didn't know about it. You know, I'll get them to drop the charges or whatever. And the U.S. attorney said, no, sorry. If we drop the charges against him, we're going to have to drop the charges against other people.
Everybody can make up a story how they think it was wrong.
You know, you didn't walk into a McDonald's and get this ticket. You
still
bought.
fraudulent.
Yes, it's still fraud. And
just because you thought you were doing it in a slightly less dishonest
say
way.
You thought, I know. That's still dishonest.
Exactly.
They were trying to, his attorneys were trying to claim that it's not fraud because, they broke the McDonald's game rules, right?
End of the sentence.
Tickets are, but the game rules aren't a law, right?
Yeah,
You don't, but it's still fraud because you're still
claiming
that you got
did
this
something
ticket.
You're
from
defrauding McDonald's.
You are
I was gonna
defrauding
say,
McDonald's.
And they're giving
That's
you real
still a
money, so
criminal
we're down
act.
here.
And if you fill out a form and send it through the U.S. mail,
Oh,
what is that?
Federal
baby.
offense. Bitch.
Mail fraud.
Oh, mail fraud.
So
is that a
that's-
federal? Is mail
yes.
fraud
Oh,
federal?
yeah.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That's how they get a lot of
Good
people
Yeah.
on things.
Through
So,
anything to do with the mail.
yep. So they were charged with conspiracy and mail fraud. So he was actually convicted and then got it overturned.
What a dick.
Yeah.
Did he ever go to jail?
Nope.
What
Well, he probably spent the night in
heinous.
jail or something like
Wow.
that. Yeah.
That sucks.
Rich people.
He's the I think he's the worst one. He's going to jail the longest, even more so than JJ. Mm-hmm. At least JJ said, you know what? I'm a crook. Did JJ plead guilty or did
They could be
he
bunkmates.
try to fight it as well? Was he one of the 7?
No, he pled guilty.
Okay. See?
He got 37 months in jail, ordered to pay $12.5 million.
Woo.
That he probably didn't have.
Well, he probably had a nice chunk of money.
Yeah.
12
But
million.
I
a
doubt
lot.
if he ever paid that back. He's still alive. He's like in his 70s or whatever. He wasn't anywhere in the
Documentary. No.
documentary. He didn't talk, but he had family, like his son talked about him and stuff like that. So, Robin Colombo, Jerry Colombo's wife, she was also indicted. She happened to already be in prison on the day they were going around and arresting
Nice
people
family.
on another fraud charge.
Yeah.
And so they did go to talk to her there, and I'm sure she was charged. I don't know what happened to her. She's not in jail anymore, and she is very prominently displayed in the documentary, and she's hilarious. So there were lawsuits between McDonald's and Simon Marketing, which I find hilarious. Why would Simon Marketing sue McDonald's?
Simon Marketing sued
Yes.
I thought it was the other way
I was
around.
Yep.
able to say that too. What?
And they
Makes
won.
No sense. How?
Or no, they didn't win. They McDonald's settled for like $16 million. They agreed to pay them $16 million. I don't get it. They both sued each other for breach of contract. Doesn't make sense. Burger King, a bunch of Burger King franchises also decided to sue McDonald's for
What the hell?
unfair promotion and false advertising.
Oh my God.
Why is Burger
Yeah.
King? Listen.
Yep.
Jesus.
But ultimately, that suit was dropped.
Pizza Hut got in and Subway was pissed.
Yep. So
Any
then,
other fast food chain.
I know.
I'm gonna sue
That's
you too.
stupid.
very stupid. So partially to make up for the bad PR, because it was a very big stain on McDonald's reputation, they decided to give away $25 million in prizes, including 15 $1 million instant prizes.
You get the whole money.
And
all of it?
And it was random.
Oh,
at random places. And
supposedly.
yep. No. That it was true. But so they said that it was not advertised. It had to be on the down low, just like you walk into a McDonald's. Here's $1 million kind of thing, because it was part of a deal of a settlement and a lawsuit that was brought by 2 McDonald's customers, saying, they had participated in this promotion, gone to McDonald's a lot, bought a lot of things, thinking they had an equal chance of anybody else to win $1 million.
That's your first
and
mistake.
they didn't. Also, not McDonald's fault, right?
No.
They really had no knowledge of it. So, but anyway, it argued that the $10 million, the makeup giveaway that they were doing, if they made it a promotion, McDonald's is getting something out of it.
I see that.
Because it's going to increase their sales.
40%.
So that's why it couldn't be a promotion. It had to be on the down low. So they did it. They still do similar things. And but obviously they have created a special promotion task force to make sure things are secure.
I'm not sure they still do.
Yeah,
Monopoly.
do they still do Monopoly?
I
brought it back.
think they do.
not
I
Monopoly,
haven't
but
seen it.
similar kinds of
Yeah.
things.
But not Monopoly.
Yeah,
Not Monopoly. no.
not Monopoly. And
Still,
it's,
but still, you win stuff.
yes.
Yeah.
And remember that I don't know if it was McDonald's where you get little things, and instead of it saying you win fries or you win something, it's a code, and you have to go put it. I remember Coke did it. Remember we would get all the little Coke things off of when we used to buy Coke, and remember Jack? Remember all
And
the
then we
little
went to
codes?
rehab and we got off
Yeah.
that habit.
Right.
And I'd have to go on the computer and
do.
input all of these codes. We never won
No.
anything.
It was like
Yeah.
movie tickets or you
Yeah,
could win.
it was,
Yeah,
and it was so
yeah.
annoying. You
Yes.
had to, and I'm sure there were plenty of people who just never went bothered to input the things. So apparently, the Daily Beast wrote a great article about this whole saga, and Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have optioned the movie rights to the Daily Beast article. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And in 2018, Matt Damon is supposedly going to star. Well, that too.
Yeah.
Supposedly going to star in the movie, and Ben Affleck will direct it
course,
and not be in it.
Like to
And-
jerk each other off over and over again. They annoy the fuck out of me.
Have a pro cryptocurrency message.
that's
with
it.
it.
That's all I know. They haven't said anything else about it, so who knows?
Yeah. Well.
I won't be going to see it because I already know the whole story, and
we
I
hate
don't
Matt
like
Damon.
them. And then, of course, in 2020, HBO did this docuseries that I'm talking about. It's 6 episodes called McMillions, and it's a very good show, and it's where I got a lot of this information.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Crazy,
they
huh?
weren't as, for some reason, I did have a vague memory of it. I remember vaguely when it happened. For some reason, I thought it was more, I guess it was fairly clever, but I thought it was more clever than that. I thought they somehow manipulated the way it was, the winners. I can't remember what I thought, but for some reason, I thought it was a little more, I don't know, numbers.
Yeah, I don't remember
Like,
what I thought.
But I didn't
No,
think
it's
it
not
was
the
just
Price
as
is Right
simple
scam.
as this guy stealing the tickets because he had access to it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't genius.
Yeah. Oh, there.
Obviously.
You know what I mean? But
These
I
people were-
thought it was more clever than that for some reason.
My favorite person in the whole thing is Jerry Jacobson's stepbrother. What was his name? Marvin. He, first of all, he ran a maternity clothing shop, which is cute. But at one point,
That's +1. Now.
he got the first $25,000 prize, remember?
Oh, well, okay.
And then at another point, and I think he felt guilty about it, because at another point, Jerry came back to him and said, hey, you want to do $1 million one? I'll let you do $1 million one, and we'll split the money kind of thing, because then there'd be no middleman, right? And Martin said, no way. This is crazy. I don't want to have anything to do with this. And Jerry had handed him the $1 million ticket. He flushed it down the toilet.
Oh, my God. I like Martin.
Yep. And he pled guilty. He told the FBI everything they wanted to know, how it was done, everything that he knew. I don't know how many, I don't know if he knew the details. And now he is very good friends with the U.S. attorney that prosecuted him.
They became pals.
Yeah. He doesn't talk to Jerry anymore. He said he has zero contact with him, but he's happy because he got a great new friend out
They
of
play
it.
tennis and squash. That's great.
Yep.
That's great news. Good for Martin. You know?
Martin?
Martin?
Braun
I
is
don't
his
know.
last name.
Okay.
I think it might be Martin. Marvin.
Well, that's a great story, Carrie.
it is a great story.
It's uplifting. It's
Uplifting.
Well, I don't know
Maybe
about
not.
that.
It doesn't
those
make
things,
me
but-
horrendously sad.
yeah,
No.
that's
that
good.
is
That's
great.
good. And it's also
Very little death.
strange.
Only one person died.
One person died, and he kind of okay with it.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Carrie. Appreciate your storytelling.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Okay, that's it for us this episode.
Yeah.
Get you next time.
Edition.
Get you
Listen
next
again. Goodbye.
Sounds like a
Dean's
Right.
going to get you. Be careful.
There you
Ooh,
go.
I'm coming for you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.